Why are you running in this election?
Well, the issues and the problems that we're facing, I think, are so serious that we really have to confront them now, because the longer we put them off, the worse it's going to be. Things like greenhouse gases and pollution in general. I mean, there was a study that showed that every year 21,000 Canadians die from air pollution alone. The government has totally ignored that. The government has stood in the way of any attempt to deal with greenhouse gases. They're subsidizing the tar sands in Alberta, and they're giving money to oil and gas companies with no requirements to cut pollution, no performance requirements, nothing. It's just a tax giveaway to Harper's friends. And of course, those companies support the Tories, they support Stephen Harper, and so nothing gets done. So there's a huge problem right there. One of the most critical issues is the continuing occupation of Afghanistan. Almost 100 Canadians have been killed there. We've lost $22 billion so far, and the Liberals and the Tories agreed to continue this mission for another 3 years, and that's unacceptable. And New Democrats, if we form the government, we will get our troops out of Afghanistan right away. That's something that needs to be addressed instantly, not sometime down the road, not in 2011 as Harper has said he would do. So those kind of issues are so pressing, along with the threats, number one, to our healthcare system, which has been neglected by the Tories, just as it was neglected by the Liberals before them. And then, of course, the most recent threat to our economy is the implosion in the United States. And for that kind of a situation, what we need is more regulation of business, not less, like the Tories have been promoting, and like the lack of oversight that led to the crisis in the U.S. I think we also need to take the $50 billion in tax cuts that Harper was about to give away to big business and say we're going to use it to fund the things that Canadians need. For instance, Jack Layton was here in BC a little while ago, and he said they would take some of the existing gas tax, 1 cent of each liter of gas we're already paying, and put that into public transportation in BC, creating something like another 400 or 500 buses to help get people around. That's the kind of innovative, specific targeting that we need. Again, not just throwing money at corporations. When it comes to things like childcare, homelessness, poverty, those issues have been entirely neglected by the Tories and by Stephen Harper. Instead, he walks around making a phony issue about crime, as if 14-year-old killers are terrorizing the nation. We actually have a higher incarceration rate than Sweden does, but Sweden has a lower incidence of crime. Well, one thing to keep in mind is that indicates that it's not a matter of just throwing people in jail as some sort of knee-jerk reaction. If you can look at the reasons why crimes take place and prevent them in the first place, that's much better for everybody than waiting till somebody gets hurt and then throwing somebody in jail.